Next on the list, it's another high quality Georgetown previous attempt by somebody else. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm going to make. I mean, it'd be easy to make a perdice out of it. I'll just take this side of the stem off. That's probably what I'll do. I got to take the curve out a little bit. I'm going to lose some off the tip. The top is pretty flat. Okay. So just a lot of pressure flaking. Now that I've got the hang of the pressure flaking thing. From the last Arrowhead. I just want to see where I'm at on the curve. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm going to take part of that stem off because it's very asymmetrical. All right, so let's see. What do I talk about? I probably should not talk during this video too much because it's going to be one of those in the zone videos. I'm going to have to stay in the zone for this one. Yeah. Why? It's long and thin. This one's going to be long and thin. I can already see some issues. Issues with the physics. It's not too bad. I can already see where it's going to give me some trouble. Yeah, right there with that step fracture, but when I try to flake over this original flake scar, it's going to create some step fractures, fingernail unreleased terminations, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if I hit it really hard, see that it caused a crack right there. Anyway, just gonna go for it. Yeah, it seems like good quality, but it's not really. I'm finding out there's some brittleness to this particular piece. Yeah, it's kind of nice, but not all that great. Okay. I'm gonna have to lose some. I might have to lose a little bit of length off the stem, but hope not. Maybe some width off the blade so I can get some symmetry. We'll see. This is just rough work, you know. It's just part of the preliminary process. I'll fix whatever mistakes I make a little bit later. It's just in the rough stages right now. Okay, so it's just roughed out. Yeah, all right. Good enough. Now it's time to regularize it. I had to be careful with that stage because that's risky. Yeah, it does flake really well, but it is kind of brittle. Kind of, sort of. I don't want to take too much off of this side. I gotta make it look better. Yeah, I don't want to take too much off of that side of the stem because in a perfect world, that stem would be more that way. I'll try to clean off some of that patina in a little while. But if I lose some length off the stem down here, I can move the whole stem that way. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Yeah, I'll probably lose some length off the stem so I can center it better. Yeah, I had to completely rework that stem to get the symmetry back. Might not be able to get rid of all that patina. You know what I mean? Might not be able to remove the whole, this whole batch of patina right there. We'll see. Yeah, that did it. That did 99% of it. That one pop out. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of thinning it. I got pretty good symmetry. I just need to thin it down and make it look pretty. Yeah, that naps a little bit too well. Dang it. Yeah, the original stem was pretty thick, and I didn't think it would require this much reworking. Okay. There you go. Okay, so the original stem was pretty big, and I didn't think it would require this much reworking. But now I'm going to do the blade. And I'll deepen the notches on the sides of the stem in a little bit. But I'm going to get my symmetry set up here, so I don't have to worry about that too much, hopefully. And I'll just nap tonight until I get tired. I'm really not that tired. I just felt a little bit like just a loss of energy, not really sleepy. I don't think I can sleep right now. Okay. So the most difficult part of this rework is already done. Just a matter of getting the symmetry there. So the rest of this is pretty straightforward. Okay. I'm just going to do a bunch of opportunistic flaking. Alrighty. And the straightness, it's got some straightness to it, so I'm not worried about that. Not worry about that anymore. I'll leave some of the original surface, even with patina on there, just to keep it straight, so it has a straight side view. Although some of these had curves in them, believe it or not. I think they were making a bunch of these back in the day, and they were not too picky. Okay, he's a little stubborn there. Oh boy, here we go. It's a little stubborn. I put a little bit of pressure on it, and there it took a bite. Took a bite out of it. So much for the symmetry, right? Just gonna have to be more pointy. Very, very subtle difference in the amount of force I was using to get over the stubbornness. And that's all it took for it to take a bite out of the side. I think I'm still pretty safe with the symmetry. I just gotta have to be a long, narrow tip. Which makes it more difficult now. Of course. Yeah. Could have put in some crazy serrations, but I don't know, I'm not in the mood for the serration thing. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I will. We'll see. Put in a few. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Disappointing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the tip that way. So I'm going to take off this edge up here, lose a little bit of length. That way I can preserve the symmetry. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll make the tip long and pointy. Right? Right. Bugs are starting to fly in. Yeah, it had a warm. It was a warm spell today. It was very warm, and now the bugs are out again. I was thinking maybe we had a little bit of relief from the bugs, but here they come again. Now these weren't always symmetrical either. Back in the day, they're not always really symmetrical, but they just look really pretty if they are. Just downward pressure, because I'm just taking off extra mass because of my mistake there. And then later on I'll look and see if I need to run any special flakes in there. Special flakes. Yeah. Now sometimes they would have a curve that way and the same curve on the other side. So I might do that. You know what I mean? More heavily sharpened on one side than the other. But I gotta set it up. I think that's what I'll do. Set up this edge to do that. You'll see what I mean in a minute, if you don't get it. So now it's set up to where I can pressure flake a lot of this off this side so it matches the curve on this side. Because I'm not going to take much off of here anymore. But we'll see. Sometimes it was, you know, pressure flaked on one side heavily and then they just flipped it this way and pressure flaked the same side, right? But sometimes they flip it over and do it. So it looks kind of like a twist from the front. If I leave it this way, it looks like the wings will be swept up or the barbs swept up evenly on both sides in the same direction. But I have a choice of doing it either way at this point. Well, let's see. I'm just going to clean it up. Continue to clean up the surface because I got to clean this mess up here. That's not too bad there, but I want to clean up this mess right here because it allowed me to thin that down. Oops, I don't need to grind that part. Yeah, I probably will eventually anyway. Now, at this stage, I should probably finish doing the barbs and the stem. And then work on the upper blade last. I think that would be a better strategy than to go for the upper blade right now and then have it on the pad very delicate. So I'm going to do a little bit more on the stem here. I need to take some off of this side for the symmetry. I knew it. Oh well. Just gotta make the adjustment. I gotta make the adjustment for the brittleness of this stuff. Make a mental note and make that very subtle adjustment so I don't put too much pressure on this. I can't be losing these barbs. I really don't like having one longer than the other, even though it was common. Oh yes. Common with these things that have one barb longer than the other, but not that much longer. I don't know. Yeah, still having issues with the symmetry. I'm just barely creeping up on it. It's going to be a little bit off, I think, even at the end, but it's okay. And it looks more authentic if you go with the flow just a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to take a flake in here, and then I'm going to take some flakes to thin out that stem on this side. Little subtle things. I do like working the smaller ones more than the bigger ones. I don't know why. That went okay, but it didn't go exactly as planned. Anyway, never does. It never goes exactly as planned. No, I need to make sure I get the barbs done first before I do this top part. Yeah. Even though the barbs will snap off easy too, it's easier to snap off the tip by accident than it is to snap off one of the barbs on the pad. That's what I'm worried about, snapping off the tip on the pad, this way. If it's too delicate, it's more difficult to snap off one of the barbs on the pad. They're going to get delicate here in a minute. I can't do these pop outs with a lot of pressure. Got to be careful. Yeah, good. Just little by little. Not too much pressure. Okay. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Can't see. That's my excuse. Getting a little bit of crushing, a little bit of stalling. Yeah, I don't know what it did, but it seemed to be okay. A lot of these Perdice points had sharp terminations in the bottom of the notches, like they had a very sharp tool to knap these. I don't know where they got them from. Okay, come on, one more. Yeah. All right, I'll continue on the next segment.